Hi. Better Call Saul is a series that premiered in 2015 as a prequel, but also sometimes a sequel to the show Breaking Bad. I've never finished Breaking Bad.
The angry mob is back! With opinions like this, it kinda happens like 3 times a week now.
I don't know, I just don't like Breaking Bad that much. I just can't get into it. I like elements of the show separately, but when all of those things are together, I just can't get into the show for some reason. If I keep talking like this, I'm going to get killed. So you know what I did like? Better Call Saul. Throughout the course of its 6 seasons and 63 episodes, Better Call Saul details the full story of how small-time Albuquerque lawyer Jimmy McGill became the big-time small-time criminal lawyer Saul Goodman.
And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque!
Better Call Saul.
Basically, by way of a series of unfortunate events, it completely turns the Saul Goodman character as you know him from Breaking Bad on his head and turns, wow, that commercial sure is funny, into, this commercial makes me sad. I'm depressed. Now, sadly, I wasn't there for the actual run of Better Call Saul. Instead, my girlfriend showed me a single clip back in February that got me interested so hard that I turned around and watched the entire series on Netflix in the course of like 3 weeks. For me to watch an entire show like that in just 1 month is a massive feat. I really haven't watched all that many complete series in my life. Off the top of my head, aside from Saul, I believe the only shows I have watched in their entirety are Gravity Falls, Amphibia, King of the Hill, Regular Show, Drake and Josh, Kid Cosmic, and South Park. If this list isn't clear, my usual taste in TV shows is exactly like that one picture of SpongeBob and Patrick on the comically small roller coaster. Suddenly, Better Call Saul is on that list now. Basically, if the fact that I watched the whole show wasn't proof enough, I really liked Better Call Saul. The characters, the soundtrack, the story.
He defecated!
Everything just feels absolutely perfect. There is nothing I can think about in this show that I would want to change. Okay, now that all of my legitimate praises for this show are over, let's move on to the stupid topic of this stupid video. The complete series Blu-ray box set. Now, I've pretty much just started my physical media collection, so bear with me. I basically have all the essentials. I've got Wall-E, I've got That Thing You Do, I've got Speed Racer, The Social Network, and How to Train Your Dragon. I'm really only missing a primo DVD copy of Nikki Deuce. That way, the Nikki Deuce fandom can finally stop pestering me about whether or not I own a primo DVD copy of Nikki Deuce. I don't! I'm trying to mentally prepare myself first.
Nikki frickin' Deuce!
But then look at this thing. It is thick! 19 disc set? Yeah, it shows. Were it empty, you could secretly hold contraband in this thing. The whole thing feels like a souped up VHS box. Especially if you just look at it from the spine or something. First things first though, we gotta talk about this cover. What is up with this cover? Better Call Saul has some of the best promotional artworks ever made for any TV show. And instead, they go with Saul on a stick, laying on a hardwood floor like he's a discarded photo prop for a New Year's Eve party. Happy 2009, everybody. And to all, a good 2009. Then we've got the back, which also looks fine. Jeff is on it for some reason, even though his entire arc just culminates in him showing up and just going,
"Change the world. My final message. Goodbye."
Listen, I know Walter White only appears in like 1 episode of the show, but at that point, just put him on the box instead. Jeff's biggest impact is when he just goes,
Say the line!
Saul.
Better Call Saul!
Okay, enough talking about this box, as dumb as the front of it may be. We gotta crack this thing open, man! We gotta show the people what's inside! Open it! Open it! Open it! Something's wrong. I feel sick. Why do I feel sick? Something's making me feel sick. The discs discs are stacked! Isn't that great? Now introducing our guest for this evening, Steve Stackdisc, inventor of stacking discs.
Hello!
Okay. If the stacked discs weren't bad enough, all of them are held in place by these hard plastic spindles that have no give in them at all. Anytime I want to take a disc out, I'm constantly scared I'm gonna accidentally break one of them in half. And I don't want to break Los Pollos Hermanos. That's Hector's job. So while taking a disc out is a pain because of the dumb stupid spindles, putting a disc back in is an immense joy because of the dumb stupid spindles. They just snap back in so powerfully and... ooh, perfection. Still though, fuck those spindles. And now, Derek Spindle, inventor of the dumb stupid plastic spindle.
Okay, whose corpse is this?
The fine folks behind this box set even went to the effort of including inside art for the box, complete with Gene's SG Was Here carving from the first episode of Season 2. That's genuinely a nice little addition. There's also... there is very useful info here in the form of every disc's specific contents, including full episode titles and special features. But they're hidden behind all of the discs. And I know what you're saying. Drew, can't you just take the cover out of the case and read it that way? No, and I will tell you why. If I remove the cover from any kind of box like this, it will never be properly aligned ever again. I learned this lesson the hard way with my Blu-ray copy of Speed Racer. Every time I watch that movie, and it's a masterpiece by the way, you should watch this movie, the corner on the back just sits there, mocking me. I've lost sleep over it. And as such, no, I will not take this cover out of the box. I'll stick to painstakingly removing every disc manually, thank you very much. And while I'm on this subject, I feel like I should let you know that taking out all 19 of these discs took me 5 minutes, and it was painful! Look at that, I've got spindle thumb. Also, much like the satisfaction of putting a disc back in the box, I gotta say, opening and closing this thing feels so monumental every single time I do it. Listen to that snap. I should also note, online I've seen many complaints of discs that scratch because of disc stacking being used. Not just on the Better Call Saul set, but any product that makes use of stacking discs. Because of this, I'd like to clarify that I have not had a single issue playing any of the discs on this set. I've gotten through every single episode just fine, all the way up to the first disc of Season 5, which is actually the last one that has stacked discs. The Season 6 discs each get their own personal spindle, so I'm assuming those ones will play just fine as well. They're special. But what about the actual content on the discs? Come on, it's Better Call Saul. It's one of the best TV shows ever made. Not only that, but these are some of the best, most special feature heavy discs I have ever seen for a TV show. Every single episode has at least one track of audio commentary. There's deleted scenes, some with their own introductions, behind the scenes content, bloopers, even Easter eggs on some episodes featuring extra clips or material from the corresponding episode. There's just so much here worth seeing, even if you've already seen the show multiple times before. This is probably a dumb observation to make, but I love seeing the different menus between each season. Like, the one for Season 4 is literally just a GTA loading screen. Hold on. I literally just have to change the music on this one. There. Now Gus Fring is just one of those guys who gives you a line of side missions that ends with you killing him.
Let's go bowling!
So yeah, the actual contents of the discs are good. Of course they're good, it's Better Call Saul. But these discs are also just all of the original Blu-ray releases combined into one big old package. So at that point, why not just get the seasons individually? They have all the same content, and they're packaged in a way that doesn't make me hate myself. It's a win-win, right? I wish. For some inexplicable reason, some of the season Blu-ray sets for Better Call Saul go for obscene prices online.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Making this complete series set the most affordable way to actually see the whole show, especially once it leaves Netflix in like 2 years to go to that AMC Plus streaming service nobody is actually going to use. As such, it kinda stinks that the box set for one of the best shows ever made wasn't given the respect it deserved. You know what was given the respect it deserved though? Breaking Bad. You know, the one show directly linked to Better Call Saul. Well, other than Slippin' Jimmy.
You're slipping Jimmy.
Breaking Bad got a beautiful complete Blu-ray set where every single season has its own separate removable insert with unique graphics for each one. Each disc is placed by itself in a nice cardboard sleeve too. And hey, it looks nice, but I'm pretty sure cardboard sleeves are actually kind of bad for discs. But you know what else is? Stacking the discs! And now, please welcome Chet Cardboard Sleeve, inventor of the cardboard sleeve you can put discs into.
Okay, before anyone says anything, I didn't have any clean tops. The zipper's broken. Why the f*** are there 2 corpses on the ground?
Counting with Chet Cardboard Sleeve.
For another example, I can refer to another box set I have, that being the Gravity Falls complete box set from Shout Factory. And before you start screaming about how these shows are nothing alike, one must remember that Philbert Pines is voiced by Jonathan Banks. In this set, each of the 2 seasons gets its own box, and each disc inside gets its own spindle. Beautiful! Just as God intended. There's even a 3rd box with an extra special features disc. Neato! I think this kind of approach would have been much nicer for Better Call Saul. Take the existing season Blu-ray releases and just put them in a nice, high-quality cardboard slipcover. The same thing seemed to work just fine for another show I like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. In conclusion, with all of this nonsense said, I still do recommend purchasing this set over buying the show digitally. I cannot stress this enough. If you really like a movie or TV show, don't buy it digitally. Buy it physically. If you own something digitally, you can have it stripped away from you literally any time, just if the owner feels like it. On the other hand, with physical media, you have it forever. Truly, it's really worth putting up with the struggles of this box set in order to watch the show. They're all surface level complaints, and the content of the discs themselves still has one of the best TV shows ever made on them. On top of this, with physical media, you are getting these episodes in their highest quality without any of the weird bitrate problems Netflix has, especially when it comes to scenes that are set in the dark. You may not know this, but Better Call Saul has some pretty important scenes that happen in darkness. Hello, my dear buddy. Oh wow, it's my dear friend Lalo. That's right, let's drink, pop, and eat snacks and play board games together. I really don't know how to end this video. That was my best bit. Okay, fun fact. The word spindle appears in this script 10 times. 11 times, I forgot. I added another spindle. This video is sponsored by Spindles. Thank you, Spindles. You're welcome. It is thick.